What up, y'all? This is Zircon signing back into 6 days of snow. Now, I'm sorry, I'm just waking up and I just don't remember what exactly we were talking about. But hey, like, it's not a problem, right? Hopefully it's not a problem. I mean, like, okay, it was quite an experience. In any event, I had unpacked an anthology of poetry. Alright, we're talking about poetry. Oh, right. Now I know. Reiko is reading his poetry book. And I'm not sure if he's too happy about that. Now, Sachiko... In any event, I had unpacked that anthology of poetry myself. Sachiko had. I wasn't sure why she thought I wanted it. Maybe she thought it would help me with my writing. If I could reflect upon my past failures. If they're in a book, then they're not really past failures, right? Not that Sachiko would have called any of my words failures, even some of the more trite pieces. And returning to my room, cold and tired, to discover Reiko pouring through my poems. However, this was an unexpected development, and my mouth parted in a small circle of unabashed surprise. Some of my poems were rather personal, and I wasn't accomplished enough in my youth to be cryptic. I was too in love with myself to cut down the details. And there were poems in there about my childhood and my parents and the kite I had when I was a young boy. There were poems about meeting Sachiko and viewing the cherry blossoms together in Yuno Park, and the birth of our first son, Kenta. It was, in other words, an overview of my entire life. This little girl, whom I had barely spoken to, now held my history in her hands. Yes, kid, stop her! What did that? Don't just process it. Stop her! Whether she realized it or not, this gave her an immense amount of power. I think she must have understood the gravity of her crime in some sort, because she looked abashed and dropped the book as though it burnt. I'm sorry, she stuttered. I know I shouldn't have, but I was clearing away your breakfast things, and then I saw this in your case, and I know it was wrong of me, but I was curious. It's alright, I don't mind really. Wait, yeah you do. Yeah you do. Yeah you do. You were just talking about what do you mean you don't mind? I understand it completely if you want to file a complaint. File a complaint. I'll accept any kind of punishment. And then she broke off, blinking in surprise. Did you say you don't mind? Well, I suppose that is somewhat embarrassing. I'm not overly keen on that anthology. Oh, you're not? Reiko asked, flinging her head to one side. Why are you carrying around a volume of poems you don't care for, then? That was a good question. Sachiko, my wife packed it for me. Got it! Oh, man, Reiko said again, and syllables slipping from her lips as clear as stream water. Does your wife like poetry? Sachiko isn't too familiar with poetry. I think she likes this collection because she feels she has to. I'm not sure how much she understands language, but that sounds rather pretentious. Well, Reiko looked down at the... the price of waking up to do this stuff early. Oh well. Well, Reiko looked down at the Tommy floor, suddenly shy. I don't know. I know I'm rather young, and my opinion probably doesn't count for much, but I like those poems. You did? Yes, well, I didn't finish all of them, but they were very pretty. So detailed, too. The detail is the worst thing. You can embellish it. Well, maybe it was a bit too much at points, but I think that shows how passionate the writer is. Yeah. Yes, said Reiko, nodding as she came to a conclusion that's it. They're very passionate. The writer really, painted a picture with their words. Is she only saying what we want to hear, or is she just saying... Is she doing what Sachiko's doing, or is she just... Or is she actually stating the truth? We'll never know. We never know. I could see everything so clearly. I was transfixed. Even the poem about the fireworks, especially the poem about the fireworks. Reiko's own irises seemed to light up with bursts of pyrotechnic wonder. Goodness, I sighed, letting my head. The poem is the worst of the bunch. Well, maybe you can't understand it because you're a man. It's a very romantic poem. That's probably the poem where he met Sachiko. Yes, the poem about the fireworks. It was one of the first poems I had ever written. It had been a popular one when I published it in the local newspaper, and was perhaps one of my better-known works. For that reason, I hated it. Yeah, sometimes you can hate something you're not too fond of, even if it is one of your best works. Looking back on it, it seemed far too juvenile and immature. The imagery was labored, piled on with a shovel, and then the theme of silence was integrated clumsily. A poem about silence should know better than to fill every single piece for breath with unwieldy words. And as for the lovers, leaning in to share their first kiss. Well, it was Sachiko's favorite poem of mine too. She always said reading it made her happy. It helped her remember. I tried to tell Sachiko that my words were too labored and imperfect to be an accurate depiction of real events. But she didn't seem to care. I mean, that is a good wife and all. Still, I'm somewhat with this guy, on this guy's side about needing to leave the house for a little while because of how perfect their life is. I mean, seriously, if your life is perfect, as I said before, if your life is just straight up perfect, it's boring as hell. So we aren't gonna get any more into that. Okay, apparently this overflowing of emotion added to the piece. It's a passionate poem, said Reiko dreamily. Fireworks still sparking in your eyes, but it's rather dignified at the same time. It's a passion that threatens to spill over as the couple's lips draw closer together. She sighed, breathless, and held one hand against her chest. I wish I could kiss somebody like that. But Mother would never allow it. I'll die without ever being kissed, and then maybe the people in the Higashikawa will tell ghost stories about me. It seemed like quite a maudlin end for such a young girl. Maybe that was why Reiko looked so troubled. I've never seen fireworks before, but that poem was so vivid. It helped me imagine. Well, at least our poems helped for something, right? Reiko shifted, her face a little flushed from her sudden confession. And perhaps she was embarrassed. I felt a touch embarrassed on her behalf. Oh, I felt a touch okay, so we were kind of embarrassed ourselves too. Okay. Well, she didn't duck her head or try to hide behind her hands. I came to clear away your breakfast half an hour ago, but I got so taken in by these poems I forgot what I was supposed to be doing. Oh, jeez. They must have been good. Maybe good for, like, young adult eyes. Also, it was the fireworks poem especially. Of course it was. It was always the fireworks poem. Perhaps it wasn't such a bad piece of work then if Reiko read it so highly. But the stubborn part of me didn't want to accept that. I had written it years ago. Surely I had created finer work since. But the quality of my craft matter when the general public preferred my older pieces more imperfect in their construction. Yes, but perhaps more emotionally charged because of their naivety. I don't know how to pronounce that word, but I wasn't really sure how to feel. I was pleased Reiko enjoyed my poem, but at the same time, it was a bit unsatisfying. It isn't nice to think that you haven't progressed at all in your craft, and in fact, may have gone backwards over 2 decades. Jeez. 20 years. It's a long time. Yeah, it's a long time. Too long, rather, to cling to youthful remembrances of a first kisses stolen beneath the star-filled sky. Why would you want to forget that? I didn't know what to do with myself after I read the poem, Reiko confessed. I just sat there thinking. I wet my lips with my tongue. All of a sudden, my throat felt rather dry. If you don't mind me asking, what did it make you think about exactly? Oh, all kinds of things, said Reiko. I thought about festivals I'll never go to, and pretty clothes I'll never wear, and boys I'll never kiss. Now listen here, young girl. I think I have a son that, if possible, I might be able to sneak you down every so often. That might help him out a bit. He's your age, fine, he's good looking, looks like me, just younger. What do you say? Alright. And she smiles sheepishly. What am I saying? I must sound so selfish and uncultured. She smiles sheepishly. I must sound so selfish and uncultured reading such a pretty poem and only thinking about myself. I bet there are deeper themes in there and I'm too stupid to see them. The author would probably be mad at me. We're not entirely mad at you. As a matter of fact, I don't think we even really are mad at you. Oh no, I said. The author wouldn't be mad at you at all. In fact, it's quite the opposite. I told ya! What did I tell ya? How can you be so certain? Do you know them? Quite intimately, in fact. You see, I paused for a dramatic effect, amused by the theatricality of the whole thing. In that moment, I could have been a discipline of the kabuki theater. Reiko stared at me expectantly, her hands clenched in fists. For a few moments, it seemed as though neither of us could breathe. But wasn't that foolish? I already knew the grand reveal, though Reiko didn't. Not yet. Tanami Eiji, I said, gesturing to the front of the cover of my anthology. I'm not sure if I gave you my full name yesterday, but, well, I spread open my arms in a modest expression. That's me. Oh? Reiko looked at the cover of the book, then back at me. She stared. Then her lips fell open in the neat little ring so perfectly formed I half wanted to run a thread of cotton through it, and her cheeks flushed. It was remarkable, really, how red she could become when it was so cold inside. It was less cold, however, with another body to keep me company. Reiko's mere presence seemed to make everything cozier. I'm starting to not like where this is going. Then, does that mean that the one who wrote those poems was... Wait, didn't we already discuss this before? That's right, I wrote them. Oh, but I hastened to end. Because Reiko seemed to be on the verge of a breakdown. Some of those are rather old. I might as well be a different man now. Certainly nothing I'd written since the advent of fireworks had achieved such levels of popularity. Unfortunately, this attempt to placate Reiko did not have the intended effect. Her eyes were wide open, pupils swimming about in the whites, and she opened and closed her mouth with juddering motions, like keys stuck on a typewriter. You? I can't believe it, she exclaimed, and then she bowed so deeply she almost knocked her forehead against the... Don't do that to yourself. And here I was talking about the author's intentions and acting so high and mighty when you were the one who wrote it to begin with. I must have sounded so stupid. You didn't sound stupid. I'm flattered that you like my poem so much. It's touching. That's a cute look. Her blushing. If only it had been a poem other than fireworks. But I said maybe you can't understand. I can't believe I said that. Of course you understand. It's your poem. You know far more about it than I do. That isn't necessarily true. Hearing a new perspective is always refreshing. There's a chance I could be conveying themes even I didn't notice. And each piece of writing means something different to every person that reads it. We all have different experiences, and that helps us engage with texts in different ways. Sounds good. Sounds about right. And that's where we're gonna have to end it here, guys. Okay, that sounds like a good spot to end it, guys. I am running out of time. I gotta actually start getting my place cleaned up. Yeah, because it's starting to look kind of bad, but thank you all for watching, and if you like this video, press that like button, and as always, stay active, stay connected, guys. I'll see you on the next one. This is Zircon, signing out. Bye, y'all!